Welcome to Wellness Wednesday on Tuesday. I am here to talk to you today about fasting. And so I'm doing this today because tomorrow, and Nick's going to join me, tomorrow I will not be able to chat. So we're going to chat today. And so I am going to talk to you today about fasting and what that means. Why is that a hot topic in the diet culture or in just health? There's a ton of times when I see practitioners on the health and wellness space, on even the medical side space, talk about fasting. And sometimes it's in this all or nothing blanket of a statement where fasting is the cure of blood sugar control. Fasting is the cure of weight management. Fasting is the cure for clarity and brain fog, and kind of all of these very absolute type of sayings. And I'm spending time on kind of Instagram doing reels and things. And so I did a reel today where it was just like, okay, what is it? So intermittent fasting is a fancy term for describing when someone eats a certain amount of time and then fasts, which means restricts food intake. So typically it's food and drink that has any sort of nutritive substance. So water is allowed, maybe black coffee, black tea, which is interesting because that's a stimulant. So depending on who you talk to, depends on how they define this. So there's not like a worldwide definition of this. A lot of it's subjective for the user. So I've been in diet and wellness for almost 2 decades. 2 decades, I've talked to people about their body and their weight and their eating, and it always constantly changes. So currently, when I talk with people about intermittent fasting, there's usually a 12, 14, or 16-hour window of time where you do not eat or drink anything of caloric value. And then the rest of the time, typically like 12 p.m. to 6 or 12 p.m. in the afternoon to 8, then you have meals. And within those time frames, you typically choose foods that are going to be of more nutritional value. So it's not going to be like Doritos or Oreos or, things. Typically you're supposed to be choosing foods like turkey or quinoa, or even if you're vegan, just things that are a bit more nutrient value. So the philosophy behind this is it is somewhat of an energy control. You are watching how much energy you're putting into your body. As a human being, and if you're watching this, you're a human, you are designed to rest certain times of the day. So there's 24 hours in the day, typically 10 to 12 hours. Your body is supposed to be in a state of rest for ideal functioning. More rest is required if you're growing. So if you think of a baby or a toddler, or even if you're going through trauma or sickness, there is more rest required. Depending upon the growth that you need, there's more nutrition required. And so there's so many factors that go into how much nutrition is required. Your life stage, your gender, your muscle mass, your adipose tissue mass. There's so many things. So for a blanket philosophy to suggest that it is the end all, cure all of any goal, stay cautious with those claims because it's not necessarily true. If you are in a state of muscle growth, or you are in a state of you're recovering from an accident or recovering from an emotional accident, if there's been trauma in your life, your body requires rest, and it also requires a ton of supportive nutrition. Fasting can be a state of stress where your body is looking for rest in food. Your relaxation system is called rest and digest. So it's actually when you're digesting your food, you're in a state of calm. And if you're fasting, not digesting, and you are hyped up on black tea or black coffee, you're now in a state of stress and you're not allowing your body to rest at all. That can cause more harm and more trauma. Now, if fasting helps you to engage some sort of structure, helps you to engage some sort of awareness of your nutritional choices, then it might be beneficial. Find a practitioner that's willing to look at your scenario. Hi, Regan, thank you. Find your scenario, your physical needs. If you're wanting to grow muscle, if you're a woman that's 40, your goal is to grow muscle because you lose muscle so fast as a woman over 40. Fasting can actually be one of the most harmful things for your nervous system, for muscle growth. So pay attention if you're falling into fads that require these quick fixes that do not work. They might work for your lifestyle for certain periods, but be very cautious of all or nothing thinking. And I was coming at this because some people were saying, I love fasting. I love kind of the effects. I feel so clear-headed. Might be the reasoning you feel clear-headed is because you've spent a lot of time engaging in mindless eating and actually allowing your body to rest and not digest actually feels really good. You're naturally supposed to be fasting from after dinner till breakfast. That's why it's called breakfast, breaking the fast. Is you are naturally supposed to be engaging in a 12, maybe 14-hour fast already. We have a culture, however, if you live in the United States and you're watching this, we have access to food all of the time. So if I'm hungry at 2 a.m., if I don't have food at my house, I can go somewhere. I know I could name off 10 places I could go get food at 2 a.m. I could eat anytime I want. You go into different cultures and that's not the case. So intermittent fasting can sometimes be a way to just engage back in our natural fast. That I'm a huge supporter of. Fasting and refusing your body food while you're thinking about food all the time, while you're hungry, and then numbing the pains of hunger with caffeine, I'm not a proponent of. That is denying what your body needs. Now, some people will say, well, if I listen to what my body needs, I'm going to be eating X da 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 da. Well, then your intuition's off. You're fuzzy. There's risky thought patterns that you think your body is wanting foods that do not fuel it properly. So then come on in. I have a free assessment. I have a free debrief where I would be willing to talk with you and see if us working together would serve you properly. And I've had tons of conversations this week where we've had a conversation and our needs met, and I have material that would really serve you in your life. And then I have conversations where it's just not the right fit and it's not the right time, and that's okay. But I am a huge believer that I have the space and the material that can serve if you're trying to find your intuition and your health and your body and your food. I've been dancing around in business builders space where a lot of times your relationship with your food is a mirror for a lot of other things in your life. It's a mirror to your relationship to your body. It's a mirror relationship to money. It's a mirror to a relationship in relationships. And it's actually fascinating to use it as the portal into your thought patterns. If this is something that's speaking to your heart, I have a free assessment. You can take it. I'll give you a call, give you a contact, and I would love to have a conversation with you. And then there's different ways to interact with me, different ways to invest, and having someone in your corner that holds space to try to understand what your thought patterns are is priceless. I've done it myself, and it was one of the best things I've ever done in my life. And so thank you so much for watching. If you are engaging in intermittent fasting, ask yourself, what is the goal? How long am I doing this for? Don't engage in it mindlessly. It can lead to lots of harmful behaviors that stem from guilt and shame, and you cannot hate yourself to health, at least not long term. All right. Have a fabulous Tuesday. Thanks for watching. And I'll share this to my Imagine Wellness page, my business page. You can check out all of the things there if you're interested. And thank you so much. Okay, bye.